You see the headline. You know how this goes. Let's get into it. Online influencer Andrew Tate, a self described misogynist who has millions of young male followers, was facing allegations of sex trafficking women in 3 countries when he and his brother left their home in Romania to visit the United States. The Tates will be free. Trump is the president. The good old days are back. Trump posted on X before the trip in February, one of many times he sung the president's praises to his fans. What good old days. But when the Tate brothers arrived by private plane in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, they immediately found themselves in the crosshairs of law enforcement once more, as Customs and Border Protection officials seized their electronic devices, i.e., they did their job. This time, they had a powerful ally come to their aid. Behind the scenes, the White House intervened on their behalf. Interviews and records reviewed by ProPublica show a White House official told senior Department of Homeland Security officials to return the devices to the brothers several days after they were seized. The official who delivered the message, Paul Ingracia, is a lawyer who previously represented the Tate brothers before joining the White House, where he was working as its DHS liaison. It is amazing the very minimal degrees of separation between the Trump administration and sexual predators. In his written request, a copy of which was reviewed by ProPublica, Ingracia chided authorities for taking the action, saying that the seizure of Tate's devices was not a good use of time or resources. The request to return the electronics to the Tates, he emphasized, was coming from the White House. So doing their actual job and going after actual criminals is not a good... Okay. But putting on shows and essentially kidnapping black and brown residents and citizens of these here United States and creating Hollywood level movie trailer-esque videos is a good use? The incident is the latest in a string of law enforcement matters where the Trump White House has inserted itself to help friends and target foes. Since entering office for a second term, Trump has urged the Justice Department to go after elected officials who investigated him and his businesses, and he pardoned a string of political allies. Andrew Tate is one of the most prominent members of the so-called Manosphere, a collection of influencers, podcasters, and content creators who help deliver young male voters to Trump. And news of the White House intervention on behalf of the accused sex traffickers comes as Trump is under fire over his ties to notorious child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and his administration's recent efforts to stop the public release of the so-called Epstein files. Ingracia's intervention on behalf of Tate and his brother Tristan caused alarm among DHS officials that they could be interfering with a federal investigation if they followed through with the instruction, according to interviews and screenshots of contemporaneous communications between officials. One official who was involved and spoke on the condition of anonymity to avoid facing retribution said they were disgusted by the request's brazenness and the high-handed expectation of complicity. It was so offensive to what we're all here to do, to uphold the law and protect the American people, the person said. We don't want to be seen as handing out favors. Given what ICE has been able to do, what Kristi Noem is doing and others, and no one is really stopping them or stepping into the role of whistleblowers, of course they thought you were going to capitulate. They're banking on camaraderie through complexion of protection. But everyone is getting an advanced placement course, and silence is compliance. It's time to speak up and stand up. But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section.